What up? What up? Welcome into Pregaming, and we got ourselves a pregame today. Excited to bring my guy in, LJ from H-Town, to help us get through baseball and the NBA. It's going to be a real treat. Spend some time with my guy going through these plays to get us paid. Appreciate you guys coming in to hang out. It's a huge game 3 tonight. Dallas, maybe do or die at this point. Maybe do or die against them Boston Celtics. We still got ourselves some afternoon and evening baseball as well. So we're going to give you guys the looks on the diamond. We're going to take it over to the hardwood. We're going to tell you how we're getting paid, and I'm going to share this with you. 3 legs, $3,700, 37-1 parlay that I found over there on Bet365 today. So going to share that with you guys. We'll talk about the sides, the totals, and all the props to get that cash out there for you guys. You already know the deal. We got a ton of work to do, not just tonight, but everything that's going on with the channel. We got Subhuman Gaucho and MMA Jeff are going to be dropping their MMA video for UFC this weekend. That'll be coming out later tonight as well. So make sure you guys have subscribed and turn the notifications on over there via YouTube. When this content drops, you want to be the first to know. Get the best lines. And in fact, last week they went off at 2-1. And those numbers moved considerably by the time we got to those fight times. So definitely get this thing moving here with you guys. And do me that favor now. Speaking of the like button, give it a smash out there. Look down. If it hasn't hit the thumbs up yet, make sure you do that for us. So important to have you guys showing us the support. Let them know that we're here doing this thing. My guy yesterday gave the old algorithm message out there. I love it, you guys. I appreciate you guys helping us grow this thing. If you like what you're doing, a good spot to hang out, get that last minute information, not just from the panel, but man, the chat coming through firing last night, giving us them last-minute tidbits, injury analysis, pitching changes in Major League Baseball. And I'm appreciative of that because I was going to stay off that White Sox first 5. And what a mistake it would have been. That was a nice plus money casher. But you guys know the deal here. Continue to share your plays in the chat. Let's see what you guys are on as well. We've had all day to sit on this card. And now it's time to figure out how we're going to get to the window and cash big tickets. That's what we're here to do tonight. And every other night that's around there. Shout out to my guy, Joe T. He reached out to me early. Talk about being the first one in. He said, where the hell's the link? I said, here you go. I'll put that out there. And there he is. The first guy in says Joe T, best bet. He's on the O's -1. He's got that at plus 117. And his early best bet winner was the Brewers. Screw them Bassett boys and the Toronto Blue Jays. I got hit on that one, but I did cash the first 5. I was laughing. I said, I got the first 5 cashed plus money spot. I had the full game lost plus money spot. And then I had the under 9. I think I made like $25 on that game. But whatever. It was afternoon action. I was cutting along. It is what it is. Deer Slayer Skis in the house. My guy says, hey, Mikey. Hey, boys. 3-1 yesterday. Need the Dallas Mavs first half money line for his life tonight. Let's get it. Took a taste of Boston Mavericks. First half full game just in case. Let's get that. That sounds like a little double chance opportunity. I like it. Kenny Woods in the house. What up, Ken? Gerald Jones says, what up? Pimp and crew. Best bet today. Washington first 5 plus 110 for our guy Gerald Jones up in the house there. Let's get that cash, my guy. Stacks, PODs out there. Justin McKelvey giving us the Lindor over 1.5 bases for our guy Stacks, Justin McKelvey. Winner's Circle, he's giving you the Celtics money line and the Sky +8 parlayed out there. Hey, yo, let's go. Winner's Circle. And the Futon Bet says Celtics -8. Let's get this money, buddy. Angel Reese under 23 points, rebounds, and assists. That's my girl. She fires me up. I like the competitive vigor that she has. I like them long eyelashes. I don't know. It's my thing, I guess. Juggler 20. I didn't know that was my thing, but now I guess it is my thing. Juggler Aaron Savali is 18-6 plus 6 units in home night games as a favorite in the last 5 seasons. Man, Juggler 23 comes in with the solid ammunition to fire on the bookies. Thank you, Juggler 23. Oldies in the house. It says Bregman money. There's Nutflush Allen says, what's up, boys? What up, Nutflush Allen, our resident team total whisperer. And look what he says. Arizona team total over yesterday was no sweat. That over was no sweat. First 5 and the full game. I shouldn't have added the Angels, but what are you going to do? A little greedy out there. Fletcher Berry says, oh, share that bad boy Mikey. It's time for cash. 37-1 sounds like a bunch of pizza for me. Just a little 3-legger. That's all we're looking to cash there. 3 legs. Rob McMahon says, smash the like button. Support our boy Mike Money. Please do just that. And here we go with another trend of the night for our guy Juggler 23. Teams reaching an 8-game winning streak are 43 and 62 against the spread. That's a 41% win percentage in the next game, including 19 and 33 against the spread, if they're on the road over the last 3 seasons. That's some great data there. Looks like it's supporting some Dallas Mavericks, spread, I guess. I was going to say money line, but spread. Sounds like that's the way to boost the ROI. Fletcher Berry says, like number 16. Appreciate you, Fletcher Berry. There's Gonzo, my guy, says, what's up, fellas? He's on the Cubs first 5 and full game money line. He's leaning on Detroit and Baltimore. Get those plays out there for you guys to see. I got a chance to talk with my guy, Gonzo. We talked a little bit about the formulas and the models, and man, he made a tweak and he is firing right now. So make sure you keep an eye on what Gonzo is doing to his action out there, and he shares it with you guys on the regular. Oldie says, Justin McKelvey, hell yeah. And then Juggler 23, he's not done yet. He's got the Wise Guy WNBA play of the night. The Sun, the Sky, under 154. 1-2 last night, but 21-12 on the year for our guy Juggler 23 in that Wise Guy action. The Sky and the Sun under 154. Yeah, that's the WNBA. Yeah, the NBA's rolling, but why not get double hoops action going out there? Joseph Thompson says Bassett shoved, but got super effing lucky. Bases loaded twice, lucky ass pitcher. Man, he's what is he now? 11-0 on the first 5 on the spread line there, the plus a half there, the run line I was trying to figure out. I was going to say the puck line. We're not at hockey yet. Kelly V's in the house. What up, Kelly V? She likes those Tampa Bay trends. Jeffrey Blues, there's O score in the first and home run in the first. And there's my guy, Troy Torrance. He says, do the right thing. Well, I'm excited to see what the right thing is. Oldie says, I don't have anything live right now. Man, how about them Oakland Athletics? Speaking of live, coming back 3-2 on them Padres. I stand by it. You might find a lucky spot here and there, but them Padres and them team totals are trouble right now. Keep your eyes on that. Futon Betts says she's beautiful, but Carrington going to have her way with her. That sounds exciting. Subhuman Gaucho's in the house says, what's good around sports money tonight? We're getting some baseball action. We're going to get some NBA action, and our guy Juggler 23 is giving us that WNBA look to cook them books out there. Oldie says, at Nutflush Allen, you have only skin in this Marlins, any skin in the Marlins Mets. Sub says, that's an interesting trend. Juggler Tarek B, what's up, Big Mike? Says, Twins minus 20. Kapansky, 48 likes short. You know who you are. That's right, my guy. Appreciate you coming in, rocking with us out there. Nutflush says, at Oldie, only prop with Alonzo. Other than that, nothing for our guy Nutflush Allen in that Mets-Miami game. Oldie says, Subhuman Gotcha, you staying out of trouble. You know he's not staying out of trouble, man. Trouble finds that guy. That's how he rolls. Juggler 23 says, Kelly B, I love sharing relevant trends with Mikey and the chat. We love you sharing those relevant trends as well. Let's roll. He says, Nutflush 10 and 10-4. And Ricardo Andre, there's a new name I haven't seen yet, posted up in the chat, likes them Yankees minus 1.5. And why not? They're bashing that ball out there. Kelly B says, Juggler for sure. Same. And Oldie says, Nutflush. I laddered the Mets team total over yesterday to 4.5. That bit me a little gun shy. And Kelly V says, Mets feast or famine. Today is famine, is Kelly V's analysis in the diamond over there in New York with the Mets and the Marlins. Let's bring on today's guest. He's ready to go. I see him just shuffling. He's getting ready. We'll get him going there. Shout out to Wine Time Sports. I see you, my guy. Appreciate you coming in here. And Sub says, Oldie, so far so good this week, but the weekend is approaching. Bookies on notice is how the rest of that statement goes out there. Let's welcome in here to Pregaming. It's his debut, but he's my guy. Definitely got some fun times hanging out down in San Antonio. Got to see how he does it in person. I saw how the formulas all come together for this guy as he was out there firing and getting that cash, and I'm excited to welcome him in here. First time on Sports Money and Pre-Gaming. Let's welcome in LJ from the H, baby. H-Town's finest. LJ Sports Media. Follow him on X. LJ, what up?
What's going on, Mikey? How we doing, man? Glad to make my debut right here on Let's Make Some Money. So, hey, man, it's time to do it. Let's get it.
Let's get that sports money, my guy. We got ourselves some action tonight. You know, it's an interesting card. Obviously, you know, the big bang here is going to be this NBA spot. I'm excited. I've got 4 looks in the NBA, so I wanted to skinny down some action, but I put some little sprinkle action on that big 37-1. We'll talk sides and totals and props when we get there. But look, we got some work to do on the diamond, LJ. Haven't seen what the card looks like for you, but I'll kind of just fire around and talk about some of these games, and then you tell me what you think. And In fairness, I didn't touch this Baltimore or Atlanta spot. I don't know if you have any action in that game or not. I see 81% of the bets and 90% of the cash on the O's. Big cash coming in, but not correlated line movement here. This thing's really not moving whatsoever. And then as far as the total, it's dropping. It's gone down almost a full run from 9.5 to 8.5 with 85% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the over. It's Povich with a 10.13 ERA. It's Schwellenbach with an 8.38 ERA. Neither one of these pitchers have found any success, 0-1 and 0-2 respectively. And is this an opportunity for Atlanta to bounce back? What do you think about this game?
I think it is, and that's one of the reasons why I stayed off the game. But if you've been taking the Orioles run line, you've cashed 16 out of the last 20 games because they have been smashing. And a lot of those games were versus divisional teams. And I had looked up a stat earlier in the season to where the Orioles are very good in their division. So if you just trust them just to take them there, you will be profitable throughout the season. Don't even have to worry about the rest of the schedule for the most part. But I hit on the Orioles last night. I took the run line. They hit it again. But they shut the Braves out. And you know how I am with teams coming off a shutout loss. Reason why I took the Brewers earlier, because they were coming off a shutout loss. So that's why I stayed off, because the Braves could be live tonight, simply because, like I just mentioned, coming off a shutout loss. And the Orioles got to heat off eventually. I mean, at least we lose one game. I mean, but you never can predict it. So I just stayed off just because of those reasons. But hey, if you taking the Orioles on the run line, I am not mad at you.
Shout out to my guy, Vitalis. What up, Vitalis? I see you doing your thing over there on X. Go check my guy out, Vitalis, over on X, sharing his plays of the day. He says, I'm here working hard in the Cali heat, and this came up on my feed. What's up, Mikey? That means you guys are doing the thing. We're getting them likes and getting it retweeted out there so that our guy Vitalis can find us and get in there. Vitalis, hit that thumbs up for me and subscribe to the channel. LJ, here's the deal, man. Yeah, I hear that. That run line is impressive for the Baltimore O's. Just the stomach check tells me that, yeah, when they win, they're winning by margin.
Yeah.
This thing that kept me off this game, I wanted to get in with Baltimore. I'm with you. I mean, neither one of these pitchers on the starting bump anyways is really anything to write home about. But how about this one? Braves now lost 4 in a row. The Braves are 20-0, going all the way back to October 2017 when they're on a 4 or more game losing streak. Crazy. I mean, I don't know if this is the guy to get it done in Schwellenbach. They obviously see something they like out of this guy with an 8.38. I don't see it.
Yeah.
And, embrace adversity here. I would think maybe this is that lower scoring game. We've seen the run line or the total dropping significantly. I stayed off it as well. I didn't have any action I wanted to get involved with. If I was going to play something on this, it would be Atlanta and the under.
Yeah.
It's under 9. And it's a parlay that was like around plus 230. It just felt like I'm going to take a shot and go against this Baltimore team that's crushing that run line. Then I want to get the risk reward. But speaking of the Baltimore run line, minus 1.5 is plus 164. Man.
Yep. They've been hitting it. But like I said, I won yesterday and I got enough action today to where I don't want to give it back. So
I'm with you. Let's go. Let's talk some more here. We got the Nationals and the Detroit Tigers at 6:40 p.m. This one started with a Nationals road dog at plus 116. It's dropped to plus 105. We have 71% of the bets on the Tigers. The public betting is hitting the Tigers. But the cash is coming in on the Nats. 57% of the bets on the Nationals. Then we see that this total is on the climb. But we have 97% of the bets and 97% of the cash on the over. Of course, we saw yesterday's game go to extras. Nice comeback for the Washington Nationals. Not for us being on the Tigers and the Tigers in over. But the over was no sweater. Now we got Reese Olson starting with the Tigers. 3.43 ERA. 1-7 on this guy's season. He's not catching any. He's not doing his job, and he's not catching any run support. And on the other side of things, you got Irvin with a 3.12. He's 4-5. So maybe showing that their bullpens are vulnerable and starts with Irvin based on the order of the rotation that this guy goes out there and gets the job done. I just mentioned last game, 5-4 through the 10th inning. They knocked that one in there, knotted it up in the 8th inning, I believe. Held him off in the 9th and then came back and got the win. Previous to that, though, 3-1 as well against them Atlanta Braves that we just talked about here. And on the flip side, the Tigers, 1-4 in their last 5 games out there. They can't find a break. They did win 10-2 against Milwaukee to prevent the sweep at home. but then they just took it 5-4, as I mentioned this past game. What say you, LJ? Any action in this one?
No, I didn't get to anything in this one. I would lean Nationals just because they're good on the run line on the road, 24-12. So I would lean that way. But, I stayed off. I couldn't find anything. Detroit is, hitting at 60% to the over. So you can lean that way as well since the numbers going to the over, which may hit. But the Nationals, man, they got some good bats, man. And they're feisty. It's hard to strike them out. They love contact. So it's just all about them scoring enough runs and keeping the other team down. So they have a chance to be live in this game. So, but I stayed off. Had too much going on. Didn't want to give it up,
I'm with you. Right. And, the thing is, I feel like with these early games, it's kind of where they want you. Like, force that action in there and try to go make that bet. And when you're sitting out there watching, the games that you really want to get involved with, you've already got cash tied up and you're just got to sit back and wait and hope that you get it done. Another one at 6:50 p.m. is the Cubs and the Rays. 77% of the bets on Tampa Bay, 55% of the cash on Tampa Bay. This line has moved slightly. It has moved now as we get closer to first pitch from -108 to -112. The total, on the other hand, has no movement. 83% of the bets and 84% of the cash on the over. Aaron Savale and Tampa with a 5.51 ERA. Again, a similar situation that we just talked about. 2-5. So letting up a bunch of runs, and then the team just can't seem to come back from behind it. On the other side of things, Assad and the Cubs with a 2.74 ERA, which is kind of remarkable given this guy's metrics, and 4-2 on the season. He is starting out strong, and the bullpen is finding a way to carry this guy to victory. What say you, LJ? Anything in this one?
No, but I lean Wine Time, Rays money line. They're the best team versus the interleague play, 11-4. So I hit yesterday. This is one of the reasons why I'm not going to take them again today, because I hit them yesterday, and I figure, hey, if they're going to be the number one team versus the interleague, then, hey, I might as well take a shot in the first game. Considering the Cubs lose, they could come back and win the next game, which is today. So that's why I stayed off. But I lean Rays just because of the record for the National League.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was kind of thinking the under in this game too. I know, again, these pitchers, and you look at Savali seem to me to be the weak spot to it, but I don't have anything official there either. Shout out, I see Cook Sports in the house. Says, what up, gang? Cook Sports, welcome into the channel, my guy. Subscribe and hit that thumbs up notification as well so that you are in the know when we go on the live. Juggler 23 does have some wise guy action, though, with a game that is going to pop off here in the 7 o'clock window. They like the Mets. They like -150. And you'll see that the wise guy MLB plays posted are 5-3. Love that Juggler 23, man. He comes in with some compelling trends. He's got the records kept along it as well. Guy's got the house in order there, Juggler 23 does, LJ. We're fortunate to have him here contributing on the regular. Let's go. Nutflush is with us. He says too many games to bet to get involved in that travel spot, usually a 1 or 2 day hangover. That's a sharp look right there. You guys have talked about it. When you got these number of games, you got to figure out where you want to invest. And that was not a spot for me either. Kelly says 2 tips. Under K props for Lodolo. Team used pens last night. Maybe later runs come. Cincy been sneaky under. Info from chat here a few days ago. Absolutely. Old E says, Wine Time Sports, I knew I smelled money. All good. Your way, G. Cook Sports is a Giants fan, and that's a big W for him today against them Stros. Nutflush says, Old E, it's fully legit. And Cook Sports says, go Giants. Let's go. Let's get that cash. He's in California, Cook Sports. There's Marco Carrasco. What up, Marco? He says, what's up, Big Mike? Let's go. Cook's in the Bay Area. And there we go. We got a little West Coast connection out there, LJ, to get it done. But let's roll on. I've got some action in this next game here. We've got the Philadelphia Fighting Phils going into Boston. They're already in Boston, but they're playing them Red Sox. Man, 79% of the bets and 98% of the cash on the Phillies. Then we see a total that's got an 8.5. We have 67% of the bets, and we have 74% of the cash. That's a 23,000 ticket sample on the over. It's gone from 8.5 to 8, so it's a little bit of reverse movement there. It's Sanchez at a 2.71 ERA taking the bump for the Phillies. It's Nick Pivetta with a 3.4 ERA, 3-4 on the season for them Red Sox. We saw yesterday the rest coming back from London really did not impact them Phillies. They played their pitching as usual. A solid defensive game. They capitalized with runners on base. It's It's a 4-1 win out there to open up the series against the Phils, or against the Red Sox, I should say. And I'll pop into this one. I'll go first in this one here. I gave this one out earlier on Jimmy the Bags show. Now this total's dropping, as I mentioned, but the Philly and under 8 was plus 246 this morning. That's a play that I locked in there. That was the grandma's wearing your sister's panties again play of the day, LJ. Don't know where I came up with that one. Don't know how I came up with that one. I'm sure I wasn't up to any good, is what it comes down to. But that being said, I like the first 5 under in this game as well. I got the 4.5. It comes down to Sanchez is a beast out there, LJ. He hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in any of his last 4 starts. He's pitching deep as well. He's gone at least 6 innings in 3 of those starts. On the other side of things, a lot of lefties in that Boston lineup, and they're having trouble out there against Southpaws. They're just a 3.10 OBA. 29% strikeout rate, though. I thought the vulnerability to me here is, what is Pivetta going to do? He did come off a huge start that last game out there. It was against the Braves. Back-to-back outings of 9 strikeouts. So he is playing better than his record would indicate now. He's kind of in that positive regression stage there. And those 2 factors alone, seeing the total drop as well, got me excited about this first 5 under 4.5. What about you, Albert? You getting to town in this game?
Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't take the first 5, but I got the full game under 8.5. Philly's been playing to the under 9-2-1 in their last 12. And Boston is hitting at 66% to the under at home, 19-11. Well, 63%, 19-11 to the under at home. So, yeah, I believe both pitchers shove, especially on the Philly side. And I'm looking at this total to stay under. The Phillies are a good team, man. And actually, I'll give you a little nugget. They're one of 3 teams with the Yankees and the Orioles, all 500 versus every division in the major leagues.
Okay.
Yankees, Orioles, and Phillies. So I usually just parlay those 3, especially if they're all a favorite on the same day. I just parlay all 3 on money line and just let it go, because those are the 3 best teams in the MLB right now. And if you could just stay on the trends with them, I'm pretty sure you'd be profitable going into All-Star break, because we got to tread lightly when it comes to All-Star break. Jimmy was talking about it early on the show, but as far as June right now, all the way to the end of June, let's get this money. So yeah, I'm on the Phillies under 8.5. Is my play.
Like it. I love the correlation there. We're more or less on the same page to get it done. It's going to start with a big start on the bump. Those boys can't let it up early to keep it going late for us there. Vitalis giving us a nice little spot here. He says, I don't know how to judge Pivetta, but total's dropping, and Derek Thomas is behind the plate. This ump walks 10% at the time, and his games usually run 9.3 runs per game, so he's torn. That's an interesting drop out there, Vitalis. I love the ref and ump stats, man. I think those are an excellent addition to the cap. So we appreciate you sharing that. We're going to need Nick Pivetta to come out there and handle business, I think is how it's going to be. And, I expect the Phillies to do what the Phillies do. So let's go onward. Let's go upward here. We've got another game in play on the card. It's going to be a 7-10 start as well. It's the Guardians and the Reds. So I had the Reds yesterday. I had the first 5 Reds, and I had the full game Reds. They shit the bed. I believe it was in the 5th inning. And they just couldn't recover. Even though it was a tighter spot there at the end, they just couldn't finish it off and use the, our guy, I believe it was Juggler 23, told us the best bullpen in Major League Baseball as of last week was the Cleveland Guardians, and they did handle that business and lock down this Cincinnati team. Now we look at this line. It opened up at minus 108s on both sides. Both sides were basically a coin flip. Subtle movement here. We have 57% of the bets, but only 34% of the cash on the Reds. Then as far as the total, 8.5 has dropped to 8. We're about 40 minutes till first pitch. This total's gone down to 8 with 65% of the bets and 64% of the cash on the over. So we have a little bit of a reverse movement there. Lodolo, we see this numbers here with a 2.92 ERA, doing his job and getting the support with a 6-2 record. And then we have Tanner Bibee with a 3.73 ERA, but 4-1 on the season out there. What do you think about this game, LJ? Do you have any action that you're trying to get paid with?
Yeah, man, I'm on that Cleveland minus 105 money line versus a left-hand pitcher, 14-5. I know Lolo's good. I know all the stats with him, but I can't ignore 14-5 versus the left-hand pitcher. Not to mention they're 30-15 as a favorite. And not to mention also 24-12 versus below 500 teams, and they're 12-4 in their last 16 games in those games. So I'm not stuck in front of the Indians. I'm sorry, the Guardians.
Yeah.
They've been smashing the ball, man. And like I said, they're one of the best teams in the MLB, so especially in their division. So I'm just going to keep riding them. The Reds are below 500, so I'm just going to take a chance that Cleveland gets another win victory tonight over these Reds.
It's a really nice price too. Sitting there looking at this thing. I mean, you're basically there's some 104s and 105s out there, but you're still in that realm of marginal juice in a coin flip spot. And I like it. The only thing that kind of concerned me about this when I first passed through it was the teams facing a sweep in the last game of a series are 11-0 if the starter's got the quality start and lost his previous start versus the opponent. So it's a bounce back spot off the pitcher that came through and fired. But to your point, and with Cleveland, we just talked about their bullpen. Also, they're 4-0-1 on the first 5 money line, and Tanner Bybee starts. Mm-hmm. He's only allowed 5 runs over those 5 starts in the first 5 innings. So he's averaging basically 1 run per game in each of his last 5 starts. Speaks to why he's got that 3.73 ERA. In fact, that number's probably a little bloated just from some sloppiness when it came to the beginning of the baseball season here, March into the beginning of April. So I'm going to give him the pass on that. I think he's rolling hard right now. I see this Lodolo stuff. I hear it. Great American ballpark can be a hitter's park, but I think Cleveland's got the right guts right now. I think they're moving in the right direction. They got the right staff and component. I like that. Again, we're correlated there. Didn't see your action ahead of time, but you like the first 5. I like the full game. You guys know indeed what that means. Let's go. Let's get to the window. Next game we got here, you guys have talked about this one, is the Marlins and the Mets. Now, I don't have any action here off the gate, but I can tell you this. The Mets seem to be the talk of the town today. They've gone from -146 to -154. They've got 83% of the bets and 68% of the cash on the Mets. And then the total's getting crushed, 93% of the bets and 93% of the cash on the over. That hasn't moved. It's been sitting at 7.5. We saw yesterday Jesus Luzardo and the boys were able to get the job done. We saw the Mets just kind of, struggling to have enough firepower when they got down to the trenches. Today, we've got Peterson going with a 3.09 ERA. He's 1-0 on the season. We got Garrett going on the other side for the Marlins with a 5.81 ERA and 2-1 on the season. What up, Dabby Cab? We see you in there, my guy. Thank you for coming in, hanging out with us. Good to see you in the chat. What do you think, LJ? Anything going with you in this Mets in Miami game?
No, I don't like either one of these teams. Marlins are not good. 3-19 versus left-hand pitching, 6-11 on the run line versus the division. They did win yesterday, so I'm expecting the Mets to win for the most part. But the Mets are only 2-9 in the second game of my home series. But most of those games were probably teams that were better than the Marlins, so don't want to really read into that considering the competition that they're playing. But I stayed off. I couldn't find an angle. And like I said, I got too much action today, so it was a pass.
I'm with you. I just didn't. This is a series I didn't really have a read on. I don't think I played anything in the series to begin with, and I don't really want to. I think you look at this Mets team, inconsistent. They started off the season swinging like they were owed some money, and the Marlins have kind of made that transition. They got rid of Louis Arise, and since they got rid of Big Lou, they've been firing. They've been finding the hole there. Chisholm and Bell, those guys are firing. And of course, Brian De La Cruz, the brother of Ellie De La Cruz. I kind of like the over in this game. I kind of thought that I thought we would see some run. It's nothing I wanted to get tied up in here, but it's going to be a pass. I don't know what you guys have for action in this game here in the chat. Phil the Kill says LJ's on it. I've been thinking it might be a trap game, but I'm going to trust LJ and the guards. And there's Fernando Mendoza. Here we go. He likes Brazil -1.5. Brazil versus USA. He's going with Brazil -1.5 in some soccer action there. Shout out to Fernando. Thank you for sharing, my guy. Next game on the docket, LJ, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. The Pittsburgh Pirates, the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals open up at -166, moved to -167. 80% of the bets and 87% of the cash on the Cardinals. As much as there's only been a 1 cent movement there on the Cardinals side of things, there's 10 cents of movement against the Pirates. So they've gone from +140 to +150, if that helps anybody out. Then as we look at this total has started at 8.5. There's some 8s out there. We're starting to see some 8s. They're not true 8s because they're still like plus 100 spots with the 8s, but some interest in these bigger markets and looking at lower scoring. 94% of the bets and 95% of the cash on the over. Sonny Gray makes his start there with the St. Louis Cards, 3.21 and that 7.4 ERA. It's interesting because a lot of the things I was reading recently about Sonny Gray are that his mechanics are down a little bit and that he looks a little shaky at best. But they're trotting out Falter for the Pirates at 3.69 ERA and 3-3 on the season. So there we go. Gray and Falter. We've got this situation. Obviously, we saw yesterday a tight battle. Skeens. How about Skeens? Gets a standing ovation on the road. They love that kid out there, man. And it was impressive to see. They put him back out there. There was like, I don't know if you saw the way the K-prop cashed, but they forgot to call the bullpen on warm-up, so they couldn't get anybody in there until he went out there and had his last at-bat. And he mowed the guy down to cash the K-prop. So Skeens just got that horseshoe up his ass. That guy is lucky and then some. 2-1 win yesterday. I did read, though, that the Cardinals seem to lose post-Skeens starts out there. What do you think about this game, LJ? Any action in this Pirates-Cardinals battle here?
I took Skeens yesterday, Pirates, and they won. Now, the Pirates are very good coming off a win. 21-10 to the run line after a win. And they're also 11-4 to the run line versus their division. Now, do I want to go back to them again today? I didn't take it because, like I said, I won on them yesterday. And I don't like double dipping back-to-back because usually you give your money back to the bookies when you do that. So I lean Pirates very, very, very much so, but I haven't pulled the trigger because, like I said, I won on them big yesterday. I hit the strikeout prop with Skeens 2 as well. So hit the strikeout prop and hit the run line. So I kind of hesitated today, but I lean Pirates though, but I didn't bet it.
I like it. Yeah, that was quite the battle yesterday. And again, when you look at these two guys and kind of what their current performance looks like, their numbers say one thing, but again, the write-ups kind of lead to something different. Mm-hmm. Apparently, Sonny Gray is on the struggle bus. He does have himself a 3.21 ERA, a 107 whip on the season. He's got pretty good strikeout numbers as well, and I think this is that spot like we saw yesterday that bats for the Pirates are getting a little cooler. They're also sporting a 24.3 strikeout rate over the last week or so as well. So can Sonny Gray go out there and hold him down for us? I don't need him to go out there and win. I just need him to hold him down. On the other side of things, Bailey Falter, I guess the thing he's got going for him is a southpaw. That's about the only thing I saw with this guy. The Cardinals offense to me isn't anything to write home about right now. They're not great against lefties. 0.75 OBA, 2.46 BABIP for these guys out there. They don't strike out a ton, but I just thought this is that spot where I just wanted to isolate it to the first 5 in case these bullpens do come in. They should be fresh. I mean, these pitchers both went deep yesterday, and Michaelis and Skeens, but I like this thing just to continue along the same lower scoring route. I thought the first 5 under 4.5, I thought reasonably priced. I had these numbers sitting around the 4. So the fact that the hook is involved in this thing to me made me want to get excited to jump on it here. Now, as far as the 4s are concerned, let me just see here. I mean, it's 4.5s across the market, minus 115s. There's some minus 118s, minus 125s, and some 134. So make sure you line shop to get the hook in there. But I like that 4.5 being involved in this game. To me, I thought that was where the cash was going to get done. Let's go. Let's see what we got there. We got Kenny Wood says, my gut tells me the Mets could pull it off. My gut says the Mets could put that boots to Garrett tonight. Joseph Alvarado, what up from Chi-Town? He says, what is up? Pimp players and lady layers. Let's go. Nasty Nate likes the Celtics trifecta and the second quarter. LJ, I'm not sure if you're surprised about that or not.
No, not at all.
He does like Holiday over in the 3s category as well. We're going to talk NBA shortly. Kelly V says, St. Louis crowd all rose to clap for Skeens. It was very cool. I thought so too. I thought, sportsmanship there to see that guy and do the thing that he did out there. He had almost a perfect game going until, was it around the 7th inning? So Phil the Kill says, Skeens is convinced Dunn he can do better anytime he wants. Keep pimping, player. He's I don't know about that, Phil the Kill. I don't know about that. I think Livy Dunn can do better anytime she wants. But we can argue that for another day. I I don't know. My feet are pretty taped to the pedals in that spot there, LJ. I don't know if you've seen his girlfriend or not, but
Who?
the Skeens
No.
girl.
No, let me look at that right now.
Yeah. Take a look at that while I set this one up for us. LSU gymnast. Now I believe she's graduated. Anyhow, the Yankees and the Royals. Well, LJ's looking at that. I'll tee us up here. We've got a minus 162, now minus 160. We have 87% of the bets and 89% of the cash on these Yankees. Man, they have been red hot, these Yankees right now. They just can't find a way to lose.
Man.
And an explode. Yeah, LJ. This line started at 10.5. It's peaked at 11. But we're starting to see it come back now. We've got 62% of the bets and 65% of the cash on the under in this Yankees-Kansas City Royals game. And it's going to be a battle. Kansas City's trotting Altavilla out there for the first time out of this thing. I think it's a bullpen game is what it comes down to for me. Is it Poteet for the Yankees with a 1.72 ERA, and he's 2-0 on the season, LJ. It was batting practice yesterday for these Yankees. I mean, they just, what do you say? It was a 10-1 finish. The score doesn't even the score makes it look a lot closer than it was, and it was 10-1. That being said, the Royals have lost now 2 in a row against these Yankees, 10-1 and 4-2. The Yankees had that struggle, if you will. They kind of had a little lull in the schedule there. They had to play the Twins. Then they had the Dodgers come to town. They made light work of them. And, to some degree, I guess it was a split, right? But now they roll out to Kansas City, and they've gone 2-0 to start this thing off. What do you think? Any action in this Yankees-Kansas City Royals spot?
No, I didn't, because I think the Royals can bounce back tonight. The Yankees, I don't want to step in front of them, but I just think the Royals play good at home. And the fact that they've already lost to these Yankees, I believe they're trying to get a game under their belt in this series. So I stayed away, but hey, I won't be mad at any props in this game because Bobby Witt Jr., he's been hitting the ball, so over his 1.5 bases is a good play. He's on a 12-game hitting streak as well, so don't mind him. And you always can look at Judge, man. 23 RBIs in his last 11 games. So his hits plus runs plus RBI should be a good look, but I stayed off because I've been cashing on the Yankees, and I don't want to step in front of the Royals today because they could be a live dog.
Shout out to our guy Sharpie up in the chat, the odds bunch. It's great to see my guy
Sharpie.
What up, Sharpie? He's got some K props for us there. He likes Sanchez 6+ at minus 125. He likes Bobby at 7+ at plus 115. Respect, Sharpie. Appreciate you. Go follow my guy, the odds bunch. You guys know he does his K prop thing out there with that black book and bringing on the crew to talk about hits, spin rates, and everything else that goes along with it out there on his YouTube channel. Appreciate you, Sharpie. And Vitalis in the house. There he goes. He says, well, Yankees hit number 9 ranked versus left-handed pitchers. Carlos Torres is behind the plate today. His games usually end in 9.47 runs per game. I love that, man. I think the Yanks home run derby tonight. Appreciate you finding us, Vitalis. We love to see. I know my guy, LJ, appreciates a good stat as much as I do. But look, maybe I'm going to be a little bit on the maybe I'm going to be a little bit of the odds bunch here. There's an 11 out there at DraftKings. It's minus 120. It's a little pricey, but it's worth to have that extra piece in there because we're seeing 10.5s at minus 103s, minus 102s. There's a minus 105 out there on the 10.5s, and there's some even monies. So the point is, you got to do your due diligence, shop around. Let me tell you about this one here, not just the dart at the board. AOD says the BBW Slayer. You know how Sharpie rolls. She ain't 480. Or maybe that's only when I'm around that he says that. Or maybe it's me that says that about, I don't know, Sharpie. You're going to have to clarify it for us. What's the, let's look at this one though, you guys. Look, you guys know the deal. I'm a proponent of the blown load theory. When you go out there and you dump the truck and give everything and the kitchen sink away, how much do you have left to go? And I believe in this spot here, not just that, but the Yankees 21-0 to the under when they're on the road. Starter faced 20 or fewer hitters in his last outing and allowed at least one hit and no home runs. 20 or fewer hitters, one hit, no home runs. 21-0 to back Poteet with that 1.72 ERA at 2-0. It's a big number. First glance, they want you to go out there and smash this over and think these boys are going to get it done. These young guys out there on the bump trying to get it done. Vitalis says, ooh, I like that stat as well. I see. some clarification from AOD out there from our guy Sharpie. Yeah, 21-0. I mean, that to me, when you look at this spot and you see these numbers, again, you're kind of getting that hook factored in there with the 11. Official news here: Kristaps Porzingis is officially out today. Foot, he will be out. But anyways, first glance, you look at these two guys, you think that's got to go over. These guys are young and experienced. There's due for runs. I love the backup factor after the blown load theory out there, and a 21-0 spot for these Yankees to go to the under. I mean, that's, teams they're facing aren't getting that and crushing that number there. 21-0 is just too many for me to get in front of. I am taking the 11. I'd be okay with the 10.5 if that's the only number you could get. Maybe it's a live bet spot too. Maybe we see Judge goes out there and cracks 2 runs in that first inning, and next thing you know, this number swells to 14, and you're getting an even better spot on it. Juggler 23 says hitter ballpark, wind blowing out over Empire. Oh, yeah. I mean, you guys make great points. You guys make great points. Sometimes I'm just too stupid. Vitalis says, I love Poteet. I have his strikeout prop tonight as well. That's awesome, man. Strikeout prop for our guy. Vitalis in the house. You guys, we're going to keep it rolling here. I think LJ had some internet challenges. So let's roll on to this next game. Last game for me in the Major League Baseball card. Maybe you're surprised. Maybe not. There he is. I see him back. Trying to get it going. LJ, how we doing?
What's going on, Mikey? Yeah, my computer was lagging, so I had to jump on my phone. So.
All good, man. All good. Yesterday, I was telling these guys 5 minutes before the show, internet goes down. Like, oh, my God. What happened? What am I going to do? I was all panicked. I was like, shit, man. Technology, right? Murphy's Law was the educational lesson yesterday. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and that's not a good spot. Yep. We battled through. LJ, I'm taking a risk on this one here. I know the boys are talking about the over, the ref being over, hitters ballpark, and everything else, but 21-0. I don't know if you heard that stat or not that I shared.
No.
The Yankees, when they're on the road, their starter faced 20 or fewer hitters the last game. He allowed 1 hit at least and no home runs. 21-0 to the under in that spot. Starter faced 20 or fewer hitters, allowed at least 1 hit, no home runs. 21-0.
That's crazy.
We got an 11. Though. I sat when I was kicking around this lawnmower today. I thought a little bit about this one. I was like, it's 11. And I'm walking up and down and I'm talking to myself about 11. I think they're head faking this here. I want to jump in on this under. I'm going to take a shot.
Gotcha.
Any risk for you on this Yankee spot?
No, I stayed off because, I'm not really, like I said, I cashed on them yesterday, and these 2 pitchers I'm not really fond of, and I think the Royals are live because they're a good team still, and they're at home. So I believe they're going to take one of these games versus the Yankees.
Well, let's go onward and upward. I'm back to it. Can't keep me away. I'm addicted to this White Sox first 5. They suck. They sucked again yesterday. They're just not a good team. But their first 5 numbers are one of the most profitable spots in Major League Baseball. This line opened at minus 240. It's now minus 250. 95% of the bets and 99% of the cash on the Seattle Mariners. And then we got a total that has crept up a half a run from 7 to 7.5 with 96% of the bets and 96% of the cash. We've got Miller starting for Seattle with a 3.81 ERA. He's just 5-5 in his starts. On the other side of things, we have Cannon with a 5.94 ERA for them White Sox out there. Boy, I said this last night. We were talking a little bit of kicking it around, talking about some of these games. Maybe it's just, you got to try to script these things in your head, LJ. And I'm looking at it going, the White Sox are bad. There's no question about it. But they started off the year real bad, and every one of their hitters was hurt. Now these guys are starting to come back. So I'm thinking that we got an opportunity here. Maybe it's a small window, to your point, till the All-Star break to cash on some of these monster plus spots there. They're losing games. Clearly their full game numbers are going to be juiced, but from a first 5 perspective, they got to kind of follow suit. As far as looking at it, thinking, well, if they're going to make it minus 250 in the full game, they can't be minus 110 in the first 5. So, at the end of the day, for me, I'm jumping in. I'm going back in with this White Sox first 5 spot. We've been talking about the implied probabilities here with Miller and 5-5 on the bump at 3.81. I suspect this is a lower scoring game, and if it's lower scoring, I just need to scratch one across to catch that plus 180. But I did put in the parentheses out there. You can find the plus a half a run at plus 120. I talked about this the other day. I said if you take the plus a half at plus 105 over the course of the metrics in the Major League Baseball season, you're going to be screwing yourself in the long run because you need that, that extra 50, 60 cents bump on the bet. In that case, we pushed and the plus a half cashed. This is in that margin or that window where I would consider the plus 120 impacting your bankroll in a positive fashion. Clearly, yeah. I mean, if they push and you get the plus a half, anything's going to help. But would I take the plus 180 or the plus 120? I could endorse the plus a half at plus 120. I'm still rolling big, though. I'm going with that plus 180 for me to get the job done. First five. Now, first five full game going to the Seattle Mariners side of things. Maybe as a double chance that I would consider getting involved with as well. But just a White Sox spot that I got to play out there. I see Nasty Nate says the same thing. He just took the White Sox first three at plus a half. AOD's telling him what he thinks the Celtics are going to do out there. And AOD's adding the, I don't give a fuck what the spread is. This is fuck Boston. Woo! AOD, my guy. My God, those are fighting words for Nasty Nate out there. He'll hit you in the head with one of those wrenches he's got. LJ, did you have any looks on this White Sox Seattle game? I mean, it's definitely pricey. If you're looking to get on Seattle, you're going to pay the toll here. What do you think?
No, I took the under 8.5, simply because it's Seattle. It's at home. I think it's at 8.5. Is it 8 or 7?
7.5 now.
7.5. I'm sorry. Yeah, I took the under 7.5. It's Seattle at home, man. I've been cashing on it pretty much all year. I'm going to stay on it. It didn't cash the first game because I think Riley hit like a walk-off grand slam to take the score to 8-4. But the next game, it went under. So tonight, I'm going to jump right back on under again. White Sox are the worst team in the league, man. They can barely score 3 runs. I have a stat that says they're 3 runs or less 42 out of their 67 games. 5-28 as a road dog. So, yeah. I'm not mad at the first 5, though, because Seattle seems to struggle early in the first 5. It's either going to hit the plus half or it's going to go under. One way or another, Seattle's going to play to that under first 5. So, yeah, I'm not mad at that first 5 look at the White Sox because I believe Seattle will come back in the second part of the game and probably win the game. But that total still is going to stay under that 7.5. So, total under 7.5 is my play.
Yeah, I like it. I like the under there as well. LJ, that brings me to the end of Major League Baseball action. There are 2 games left on the card. I don't know if you have any action in the Angels Diamondback spot. 88%. No. Okay. I was looking at the over. That was the only thought that I had about that. I'll give you guys the splits real quick. 88% of the bets, 85% of the cash. The Diamondbacks, it's gone from minus 144 to minus 150. Then you look at the total, and it's starting to drop. Some 8.5s have started to move to 8, 72% of the bets and 71% of the cash on the over. Yet it hasn't moved. I would be inclined to go throw the fucking whole kitchen sink at these overs again like yesterday. I think it's probably that situation. I'm not sure if I missed this yesterday, though. I thought Sirianni was starting for the Angels yesterday, and it looks like he's starting today. So maybe that was a misread for me. Yeah, I could swear it said Sirianni. We talked about Sirianni, and then I thought they changed him.
He probably got pulled.
See, and I play action. I don't play with that listed pitcher.
Yeah.
I know everyone feels different about it. I mean, I've had just as many positive breaks as I've had bad breaks around it. So to me, it's like, just give me the listed, especially if you're on the favorite side, if you're on the dog side, because if they bring in a reliever or go to the bullpen in some degree, you're going to get a better number from it. So it's 6 and 1.5 a dozen in the other for me. The last game on the card is the Rangers and the Dodgers. Minus 166 dropped to minus 164. 93% of the bets and 99% of the cash on the Dodgers. This game with the Rangers, 88% of the bets and 85% on the over. And I don't know how much I believe this, but 100% of the bets and 100% of the cash on the LA Dodgers minus 1.5. As far as these pitchers are concerned, we've got Walker Buehler going out there with a 4.82 ERA, 1-3 on the season. No run support for that guy, not doing his job. And we got the Gray Wolf, John Gray, 2.12, 2-2 on the season. What do you think about this game, LJ?
I didn't take anything in this game. Dodgers won big yesterday. They pretty much spanked the Texas Rangers. So the Rangers aren't good, man. Seager's out of the lineup right now, and the pitching is horrible. So I expect the Dodgers to win again. And they are 8-2 in the second game of a home series. So they play well in this spot, but they're usually coming off a loss, in that situation. They won last night. So that's why I stayed off because, hey, the Rangers could come, get a win in tonight, and then the Dodgers will come back the next game and win the game. So, yeah, I stayed off because the Rangers could be sneaky tonight since they got their ass handed to them last night.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought too. I just based on this point here, I'll be looking to live bet the NBA, and I'm not going to get involved in that Rangers Dodgers game. I was going to see. I thought I had something. Let me see here. Oh, it was for the Angels game here. 22-0 spot for the LA Angels. For anybody that is curious about that one, small dogs off a loss as a dog when they have more hits than their season average if the starter had a quality start. So the starter coming in off a quality start, they lost as a dog, but they out hit their average. So they're seeing the ball and they got the better starter coming in there off a good start. 22-0 are teams in that spot. And that is Jose Soriano against Stade Ciccone. I think this 22-0 spot for the Angels, maybe that does become in play for me tonight now that I look back at that. But nothing official for me there. 22-0 always get me excited. I mean, there's clearly no losses on the card, LJ. That's all I got there. Let's roll onward and upward. Let's do just this, LJ. How about that? We still got it looks like you're glitching just a little.
I'm froze again.
Yeah, you're good. Up. Hopefully we can get you through it, man. This is what we want. We want to hear the goods. How are we getting paid in this NBA game? 64% of the bets and 61% of the cash on the Celtics. This line's gone as high as 3.5, but it has started to come back down a little bit. So it seems like the 3.5 is the ceiling where the sharper bettors came back and said, we will start taking some action. 75% of the bets on the over 22-13.5 has moved to 215. So we have seen 1.5 points of movement there, LJ. What do you think?
Am I good? Can you see me?
Yeah. You're a little glitchy, but we can hear
you. Well, I didn't take a side just because I have a series with Dallas and they're down 0-2. So I'm hoping they can win this game so they can extend it for the most part, because if they get down 0-3, they're not going to win this series. So I'm expecting them to really, really bounce back tonight. And you do know that Dallas hasn't had a home game in 15 days. That's like 2 weeks in a day that they haven't been.
Schedule is stupid.
Yeah. So the fact that they won on the road in the final round versus the Timberwolves, they had to start on the road in Boston. So I believe that they're going to come back tonight, man. They're going to be in their comfort zone for the most part. And I'm expecting Kyrie to bounce back as well. But I got a lot going for us, like a couple parlays. Just want to throw off at you, a couple player props.
Yeah.
Let's start off with Jason Tatum, man. I looked up his numbers. He has been the leading points, rebounder, and assists. He either was the leader or he was tied with one of the players in all 3 of the game 3s on the road in the playoffs. He's averaging 30, 11, and 6. That gives you a 47 PRA. That's what he's averaging in game 3s in the playoffs this year. Now, his PRA is at 42.5. Now, that lets me know that the rebounds and assists are at 15.5. So that may catch. But those points, 26.5, it may stay under that, in my opinion. He may hit like at 25 or even hit 26 and miss it by the hook. So my theory was, how about I drop those down a couple of points and get a better PRA with that? So I took Jason Tatum, 25 plus points. I took his 9 plus rebounds, and I took his 5 plus assists. That gets you at a 39 PRA, which is a plus 114 parlay. Is my first player prop parlay that I have out there. Like, and I'm not mad at that double-double, Nasty Nate, because Tatum balls on the road in game 3. So I'm not mad at that double-double. He should get that. It's probably juice, too, because he's been getting those 10-plus rebounds. So that double-double may be kind of juice. But as far as that, Tatum, plus 114, player parlay, 25 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Now, let's stay on the Celtics, because I believe the fact that Porzingis is out. He's just been ruled out. So that means that the rim is going to be very vulnerable. Both sides of the court, because he's defensive presence and offensive. Not offensive, not so much. I don't believe they're going to need him tonight. I think his defensive presence is going to be lacking tonight, which opens up the rim. And I believe that leaves a lot of opportunities for Jaylen Brown to get his points. Now, I got his. He's hit 20-plus points 12 out of the 16 playoff games. He's hit it in 6 straight playoff games, 20-plus points. And he's hit 20-plus points in every game 3 of these playoffs. So I put Jaylen Brown, 22-plus points, and I added Tatum's 9-plus rebounds because he's had 9 rebounds in 13 of the 16 playoff games. And I took Derek White's 3-plus assists because he's had 3-plus assists in 14 of the 16 playoff games. And that gets you at a parlay of plus 150 is what I got. My second player prop parlay is what I got on that one. And let's move over to, of course, Dallas. We already know Luka coming back home. He cashes those rebounds. He cashes those steals. And he cashes those threes, Mike. He's had over 3.5 threes, 8 out of his last 10 games. Kyrie has had over 2.5 threes, 5 out of his 8 home playoff games. That puts you at a plus 227 parlay. So Luka over 3.5 threes, Kyrie over 2.5 threes. That's my third player prop parlay. And I also have Luka 10-plus rebounds. I have 2-plus steals, and I have 4-plus threes. That gets you at a plus 391 parlay. And my last one is Luka's triple-double plus 175. Those are my plays because I just want to get some money within the game instead of trying to take a side. Because like I said, I'm already invested with Dallas, and I don't want to throw some money on the side, considering what is it, -3? You know, they may win by 2, and Boston covers that spread because I believe it's going to be a close game, and Boston plays better on the road than they do at home. So I just hope that Dallas shows up tonight. And we're talking about Boston, you know, one of the best teams in the NBA. And Boston has played 98 games so far, Mike. They're 78-20 in those games, 6-0 on the road in the playoffs. So the chances of them losing 4 out of the next 5 games, Mike, I mean, it's highly unlikely, man. But hey, anything can happen. Porzingis is out now. We've already seen him come back down from an 0-2 deficit in the finals before. Miami did it versus Dallas, you know, recently. I believe another team did it too. Milwaukee, they did it versus the Suns when Giannis won his first championship. They went down 0-2. They came back and won the series 4-2. So anything can happen, but those are my parlays. I know there's a lot of them. I hope you wrote them down, but that's what I'm going with. And hopefully Dallas can pull the victory off.
Yeah, let me make sure I got him for you. I got Tatum 25 plus, 9 plus, 5 plus. Point rebounds and assists essentially is 39 at plus 114. I had Jaylen Brown, 22 plus points, Tatum 9 plus rebounds, Derek White 3 plus assists at plus 150.
Yep.
Luka over 3.5 threes, Kyrie over 2.5 threes.
Yep, plus 227.
And then I got the Luka plus 227. And then I got Luka over 2.5 3. No, I already read that one. Luka 10 plus rebounds, 2 plus steals, 4 plus threes at plus 391.
Yep.
And then Luka's triple double at plus
175.
75. I didn't write that.
There you go. You got it.
All right. LJ's open for business out there. I love it. I was saying this the other day. I thought with these games, and especially with the time they have in between them, they're getting hammered. They're getting pounded. They're sharp as can be. I thought player props were a way to start to get after it. Mel says, Mike, I'm just here to comment where people can see me. Mel, we appreciate that. They took my wrench away, Mel. I don't know what happened over there. Look, I'm going to tell you guys, this is how I'm getting down with this game. I got the same game parlay on the screen for you guys to see. I'll talk about it here in just a second. Fuck, my mouse just died. Of course.
Ooh, I like that Gaffer double-double. I like that. Porzingis is out. I like that.
Yep. That is exactly what I was thinking there. Porzingis being out. Let me see it. This thing just died on me. It's all right. Let me go back to my notes here. All right. So I started this one off here. Kind of my core play was the Dallas Mavericks in the first half. I got the Dallas Mavericks first half -2.5. As far as NBA finals are concerned, the most profitable bet, home team trailing 0-2 in the series. Game number 3 in the first half. Home teams are 93, 52, and 2 against the spread after losing the first 2 playoff games of the series.
Okay.
The NBA finals, that's overall. The NBA finals, those teams are 6-3 against the spread in the first half. I went with the first half at the -2.5. I doubled down there. I added the first quarter. I'm a step away from the old trifecta and Mr. Nasty Nate style there because of that line movement on the full game. You're right. I started thinking about it, and I thought to our guy Bo Jackson's point there, this is probably a money line spot for Dallas, and I might be able to catch a live line on that. But I got the first quarter at -1.5. Kind of just goes in stride. They've had 2 days of home cooking, sleeping in their own beds, knowing that they're down and out at this point. They got to come out strong and fire. They can't continue to go down. And I thought last game, they definitely played a stronger first quarter in that first half. The third quarter for these fucking chumps is where it's pivotal. They keep blowing that third quarter, and then they're down and out in the fourth trying to come back just to cover the spread. So that's kind of where I was expecting. Why did I play a full game side? Because I'm expecting in that third quarter is where I'm going to have the vulnerability or a softer number to go take advantage of. Then, from a player point perspective, I took Derek Jones over 8.5 points. From a ball perspective and kind of the way that it's going out there, this one to me came down to, a couple things. He used to be the big dunker, right? But now he's kind of the 3 and D type of player out there. He needs to go play defense. They need him out there on threes. And after the last game, Kidd had kind of commented on this guy and just what they were expecting from him to get the job done. I think Dallas, as a spot scorer, as a guy that can go in there, Luka's going to go out there and get covered. We know what they're going to do to Luka and how that's going to go. And I just think that's going to open up Derek Jones to go out there and be the 3 guy. And if he pops in, 2 threes, gets fouled and gets a 2, we're going to cash this number. There's 9.5s out there. So I'm okay with the 9. And I expect him to be a double-digit guy today. You look at it, back at it. Then as far as the threes are concerned, and I talk about him getting, 2 in this thing, he's got 1 3 in 4 of his last 5 games and 7 of his last 10. So he should be good for a 3 out there to get the job done. Then it's just a matter of how much do they cover up on Luka and what is Kyrie doing. If those guys aren't the 50-point guys tonight, Derek Jones, 11 points in game number 2. He didn't even get much time on the court. So I thought there was a great opportunity out there as a forward. Probably not going to get as much attention as the big names out there. I thought he was the guy to get the job done. Then for me, so over 8.5 is -130. Then this parlay that I was telling you guys about, it's at Bet365. Bet365 is the spot to utilize here. If you got to use a VPN, so be it. But DraftKings is like plus 1,600 for the same bet. So take advantage of the better numbers that are out there. I'd still take it at 1,600, but this one is for the Jones over 1.5 of 3. We just talked about that spot. Maxey over 0.5 of 3. So he needs a 3-pointer. Now, last game, he didn't do shit. And I was on his under 3s. And, I thought in this case here, though, again, last game, nothing. Getting minutes. He's played 35 minutes. From a points perspective, he's got 2 points, 2 rebounds, and assist, but 6 fouls as well. He's just got to have a better game. This guy's a piece of shit out there right now. And this is the guy that Jason Kidd said, we're not taking him out of the lineup. We like his offensive and scoring ability. So there's confidence from the coach. He attempted 2, the previous game as well. I just think it's a spot for him, to go out there and sink that single 3. All I need is 1 for this fucking guy. He did nothing. The coach is talking him up, trying to play up to this guy. And then the other side of things for me, the third leg of this thing was the Gafford spot. When it comes down to it, 10 or more points in 6 of his last 8 games. Shouldn't have a problem getting that thing out there. He loves to pick and roll. He seems to play well, especially with Luka and Kyrie being the guys out there. The other side of things, though, for me, where I thought this might be of the concern, and this is where I like this play because Lively just kind of looks, he's sharing time with Maxey and Lively, but Lively's body language doesn't look great. And I kind of read that when I see these guys out there and how they're performing. I looked at this thing when I saw Gafford and I thought, all right, 10 or more points, 6 of his last 8 games. That's not the issue. But now that we've got no, when we're looking at the other side of things with Porzingis out there, maybe the rebounds is where this opportunity becomes alive for this guy, Danny Gafford, to get the job done out
Mhm.
there. The best center, I think certainly the ability is better than Maxey and Derek for sure, even though he's going to be split in time. He's the starter. So he's going to naturally garner more minutes. And I think this is an opportunity to play on the suspect matchup out there. Can he get 10 rebounds? That's what he's going to need for us to get the double-double. Not gotten more than 10 rebounds since game 1 against the OKC Thunder. So that's why I think this price is where it's at here. But again, with Porzingis being out, the best rebounder now becomes either Jason Tatum or, I believe in this case here strongly, that we got an opportunity with our guy here to get the job done. So I got Danny Gafford for that third leg. It's just 3 legs. It's not crazy. It's just a 3, and a double-double. I say it that it's not crazy, but it's obviously paying out at plus 37.50. So that was a little spot I want to get involved with. That's why I was a little less excited about baseball today than the NBA, because I thought I like the Derek Jones points at 8.5. I like the first quarter and the first half for Dallas. We'll see what the full game does for me. But then I wanted to sprinkle in on that Jones same game parlay at plus 37.50 to get paid. So we'll see, LJ. I don't know. We'll see how it does.
I like that, Mikey, because I just looked up his double-double. It was 750, and if you tie it to the half of 3 with Derrick Jones, that puts me at an 1,115 plus parlay. Oh yeah. I think
you don't even need Maxey in there. Take Maxey right out of it, and you're still.
Yeah, I don't want Maxey. I'm just gonna stick to those two because I was looking at the last home game. Derek Gafford had 12 points and 8 rebounds, so he was only two rebounds away from getting that double-double. And Lucas still hit the triple-double in that game. So yeah, I like that play for the fact that Porzingis is out. Like I said, opens up the lane, opens up the rim. He's very vulnerable now. So if Gafford can get those minutes and stay out of foul trouble, if he can get the minutes, he should be able to get that double-double. But like you said, it's going to be contingent on the rebounds because he should get 10 points. For his like free throw attempts, get fouled, he should get those 10 points throughout the course of the game. But the rebounds is probably going to be the sweat that we're looking for. But I believe in you, and I believe we can cash that double-double 750. So yeah, great look, Mike. Great look.
We'll see if it gets there for us, but that's the kind of fun I want to have sweating the night on top of everything else. And Sam, let me see. I mean, that's the big return. For a small investment out there. Nasty Nate likes Horford first point scorer at plus 900. Old man Al Horford going out there to get it done. Ramon Scott says, I thought that was Maxey over under fouls. It is not there. Let's go. Juggler 23 says, heading out. Best of luck in the chat. Juggler 23, we appreciate you, respect you, sharing those trends with us on the regular. Peter Gracia says, sup guys, I missed earlier if you're lean Mavs being at home and over under. Thanks. I don't know that we talked so much about the total here. It seemed like there was a consensus that some folks like the under in this thing, but we're both leaning on the Mavs, I believe, in that spot, Peter. Nasty Nate says Gafford PRA is 15. Yeah, that's why the price is so profitable. You could take the PRA at 15 and then backpedal that double-double out there to try to get the big score. Lots of ways. I just think Danny Gafford becomes via a liability for this Boston team based on the matchup situation. Now says Mike and LJ, I'm on Gafford over 9.5 points at plus 130. Love it. Love to see that. Now let's get that cash, you guys. Look, last spot I'm going to share with you guys here. I don't do this very often, but this fucking guy. Here we go. Pinehurst, Father's Day weekend. It is the U.S. Open. This is the most popular bet that's been made across the board. Tiger Woods to make the cut, coming off a long delay. You guys know the storied issues that he's had. Ever since he got whacked in the club by his ex-wife with a club in the face, he quite hasn't been right. Then he had that huge car accident at the Genesis, and now he's got that giant metal rod in his leg. But he did go out there and shoot I want to say it was a 29 on the front 9 at Pinehurst. Unfucking believable numbers out there. He's looking healthy. Now, the issue I could see is he makes the cut and probably withdrawals in the third round. But as long as he stays healthy, as long as he can get it done, the guy just went out there and fired a damn near course record at the course they're going to be playing here this weekend. Tiger Woods to make the cut at 220. Double your money for this guy to make the cut? Come on. That's got to be the spot to get paid, my guys. Let's go. That's a little U.S. Open bonus. LJ, my guy, I'm so thankful to have you come out here and rock with us on the new gig here. Pre-gaming, lots of fun talking sports. I always enjoy it. I love the way you approach it. The two of us looking for trends, player props and different angles, bouncing off each other, coming together to find some of the same plays that we like, and whether they be first fives or full games. I am fired up for tonight's card, and I'm fired up for what we're doing over here, and I'm excited to have you be a part of the team, my guy. Thank you. Appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. What you got going on? Where can everybody find you? Tell them what's going on in the world of LJ from H-Town. I know you guys got a big game coming up later this week.
Yeah, tonight we're going to be on the stream with Jimmy, Plus Sports Radio. Y'all tune in. Game 3, NBA Finals. We'll be stacking some cash, hitting them live, trying to get that money. And, of course, this weekend, Friday, Game 4, we're meeting up down there in Dallas. Get some live footage, man. Got Slaughter coming out there, T, Jose, Dutch, Cabby. Man, we're going to all be hanging out, having a good time down there in Dallas. So, man, if anybody in the area, y'all come out, let's kick it, let's have some fun, and root these Dallas Mavericks on and try to tie up this series, man, 2-2.
That's awesome. I heard Dabby saying, the TV's outside the arena. You guys will have the live watch party going on as well.
Yeah.
Should be fun. I know the weather's going to be good. That's what happens down there in Texas here. We're dealing with cold, hot, cold, rain. Maybe there might be a flurry in the forecast here because we're not quite to the 4th of July. But shout out, LJ. I hope you have a great time. Get that cash, my guy. And I appreciate everybody rocking up in here. Guys, do me that favor and hit the thumbs up on your way out the door. Subscribe to the channel. We got lots of things popping up here soon. We got the First Strike MMA volume number 2 coming out. The boys went 2-1 last week. Going to get that uploaded for you guys tonight so you'll have some content to watch after the NBA and get yourself ready to get some of them MMA cashers out there. Gonzo, AOD, Ramon Scott. Appreciate you, Ramon. It's great to see you. Trisha M, Kopansky, Kelly V, Tarek B, Peter Gracia, Mel up in the house. You guys are awesome. Nasty Nate. Hopefully you guys get that payday tonight and we get back here tomorrow and we all talk about how much money we cashed. Everybody, good luck with your bets. Get that green and remember sports money. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern.